So Jesus says to us today, I am the bread. And I don't know about you, but I have heard that metaphor like 1,000 times in my life, but I don't know if I've ever actually given a lot of thought to what that actually means. It's not an expression that many of us use in everyday life. And so what does it mean to say, I am the bread? Well, to answer that question, you have to know what bread is, right? First of all, bread is universal. Pretty much everyone on the face of the earth eats bread of some kind. It's not unique to any particular place or ethnicity or age group. Bread has been a part of pretty much every society in recorded history. Ancient Romans ate bread. Ancient Greeks ate bread. Ancient Egyptians ate bread. Bread has been eaten and is eaten by basically everyone. And so you got to wonder, is that the point Jesus is making? Is he trying to tell us he came to save all people? I mean, after all, he didn't say God so loved the Romans, or God so loved the Jews, or even God so loved the Christians that he gave his only son. No, it's God so loved the world. That's why Jesus came, right? If you are part of this world, any part at all, even a teensy-weensy little part, you can know for sure he has come for you. He says, everyone who looks on the Son and believes in him shall have eternal life. So is that what I am the bread means? Maybe. But then I think, bread is not just universal, bread is also accessible. It's not just everywhere, it's also relatively inexpensive. You might, on a special occasion, go out for dinner and have a very expensive meal, but if it is expensive, it won't be because of the bread, right? In fact, many of our restaurants give the bread away for free. If Jesus had said, I am the Kobe beef, or I am the caviar, or I am the Dom Perignon, then we might say, well, okay, I get it. He's the king of the elite. Right? He's the Lord of the successful. He's the God for high achievers. But Jesus says he saves by grace, which means it doesn't cost you anything. It's not just that you haven't earned what he's offering, you can't. Notice all the I statements in our little reading. Jesus says, I have come down. I shall lose none. I will raise them up. I will never drive away. Salvation is the most accessible thing imaginable. Jesus is doing everything. And likewise, if Jesus had said, I am the Swedish sausage, or I am the pickled herring, or I am the lefse and the lutefisk, my Scandinavian relatives would have loved it. But if he had, then anyone who isn't Swedish or Norwegian or Danish would have had to think, well, I guess I'm not included here. There is no specific lineage, no particular background, no specs at all that we have to meet to receive what Jesus is giving. He says, whoever comes to me will never go hungry. Whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. Is that why you said, I am the bread? Maybe. But bread is not just universal and accessible. We also have to realize that bread is essential. You literally can't live without it. Bread is a necessity of any healthy diet. You go take a look at myplate.gov and you will see that bread is one of the 5 main food groups right there, along with fruit and veggies and protein and dairy. In fact, I'm glad to say it's one of the bigger sections of the preferred plate. And Jesus is essential, right? He doesn't just say whoever comes, generally will never go hungry. No, it's whoever comes to me will never go hungry. Whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. And so you're not saved by believing generally in God and his existence. No, we're saved by trusting in Jesus Christ specifically, because he is the way and the truth and the life. So is that why he said, I am the bread? Could be. But the more I think about it, the more I think that none of those is really the heart of what Jesus is saying here. I think the main point for Jesus is not so much that bread is universal or accessible or essential, though all of those things are true also. The main point is that bread is satisfying. If Jesus had said, I am the Cheetos, or I am the popcorn, or I am the Reese's peanut butter cup, I mean, that would certainly connect with a guy like me. But I wonder if you've ever pigged out on Cheetos or popcorn or candy bars. If you have, you know they taste great at first. They even fill you up if you eat a lot, but even if you eat them till you're full, they don't really satisfy you. In fact, if you really eat a lot of that kind of thing, it can almost be repulsive. Eat too much, and I guarantee you, you will not be eating it again for a long, long time. But not bread. You can, and many do, eat bread every day. Because bread isn't junk food. It doesn't just fill your belly, it gives you what you really need. And so Jesus says, whoever comes to me will never go hungry. Whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. And of course, he's not talking about physical hunger and thirst, right? You still have to eat and drink if you believe in Jesus. He's talking about a deeper kind of hunger and thirst that even the best of meals cannot satisfy. He's saying, I can provide that for you. I can satisfy your soul, your deepest hungers and thirsts in ways that nothing in this world can. Think about that. We all know the world can be a pretty scary place at times, and all of us have a deep hunger and thirst to be safe and secure in this scary world. And so we often think to ourselves, if I could just have maybe a little more money, then I could feel secure. But then life happens, right? Inflation, job loss, stock market crashes, and all of a sudden, that sense of safety and security we thought we had quickly vanishes. And then what? We all hunger and thirst for love, don't we? All of us want to find someone that we can love deeply who will love us back the same. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good and godly thing. However, if we look to any human relationship to fully satisfy that deep desire, we are just begging to be disappointed. Because every relationship is a relationship of two broken, sinful people who will not always love each other the way they should. And even if they could, sooner or later, every human relationship ends. Whether by breakup or divorce or moving away or death. Then what? We all have a deep hunger and thirst for meaning and purpose in our lives. And so often we look to the roles we play or the jobs we have or the things we've achieved to find it. But sooner or later, the roles change and the jobs end and we get older and slower and find we can't achieve what we used to achieve anymore. Then what? Jesus says to us today, don't you see, I'm the bread. I'm the bread you're desperately looking for and never finding. I shall lose none of all those that he has given me. That is your safety and security, and nothing in this world can take that away from you. You want to know real love? How about realizing that the Creator of all things, when He expressed His divine will to the Son, said, "This is what I want more than anything else. Don't lose a single one of all that I've given you." You want meaning and purpose for your life? How about doing the will of Him who sent me? That's not just Jesus' calling, that's ours. God is inviting you and me into a work, the impact of which will literally last forever. And you can do it anywhere, anytime, at any place, with anyone, at any age. Friends, everything you want, everything you really need, every deep desire and hunger and thirst that you feel deep down in your soul can be met by Jesus, and only by Jesus. You know how I know? Because He told us. He said, "I'm the bread."